Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me once more. In today's video, we're going to be covering a subject and a project as well. We're going to be talking about NFTs, and in specific, we're going to be talking about a platform, or a framework really I should say, called Unifty. Now yes, a lot of people are saying that NFTs are actually dead. Long live NFTs. But is it really the case? Is the market over? Has it really suffered from a silent crash? We're going to look at all of that today, and then of course to look at Unifty and their NIF token and why this might be a great moment to be picking up some of these actual utility tokens in the NFT space. So for all of that and more, stick around until the end of the video, along with my price prediction for NIF, which is going to shock you to your core. Before we do that though, do me a massive favour, if you could just like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course share this with your friends. At the end of the day, YouTube are actually trying to suppress crypto content, so the more we share this content, the better it's going to get out there, and we want people to hear about NFTs and hear about Unifty and the NIF token. And before we get into it, a very quick warning. This is not financial advice. You should definitely do your own research. This is just my opinion. Not financial advice, like I said. Do some research using my video as a starting point, but don't go putting more money into anything, any project that you can't afford to lose. With that said, let's get back to the video. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the NFT market. We'll be having a look at what's going on there. What can we expect? Is it really over, or can we see some upside soon? And I will be looking through Unifty and the NIF token, explaining that all to you. So stick around to the end of the video for that. So as I said in the opening, the NFT market has had something of a silent crash. With obviously Bitcoin and with Ethereum and the altcoin market cycle that we had in 2017. When those crashed, we all knew about it. It was very well publicized what had happened to Bitcoin's price following its crash. NFTs, on the other hand, seem to have gone through a bit of a bubble burst, but very, very quietly. And yes, people who've been investing in the space have really felt it, but it's not really got the attention that a lot of people would have expected from something like this happening. The truth is that we probably should have seen it coming, especially when we had the likes of celebrities all getting in on NFT mania, as well as even there being a sketch on SNL. What we find with a lot of projects, as soon as the celebrities start hyping them up, it is really a signal that the end of the good times are coming, because of course we are reaching peak mania. But the idea that this crash is something special, I think, is actually pretty incorrect. Now, a lot of people have said that that's it, that's the end of the NFT market, and that it's never going to recover. Well, actually, the data doesn't really back that up. And the other thing I need to really point out is that the way NFTart and the community around it works isn't really the same either. At the end of the day, NFTart is subjective. Their value is based on their social value. What do we as a community put onto these digital collectibles? What do we as a community feel they're worth? It's that social value we put on them that makes them valuable. And for a lot of people who are getting into NFTs during the sort of main part of the hype this year, those people were actually getting in on this because they saw it as an opportunity to buy maybe something historic. You know, the first tokenized tweet by Jack Dorsey, for example. Beeple's Everydays. They were the opportunity to buy up something historic in the art world. And I think that that's still true because NFTs are new, or at least new to the wider mainstream market. And because of that, you are effectively buying up something with historic importance. That's suggesting, of course, that NFTs lasts a long time. And I think they will, because we're starting to move now away from just NFTs being just individual pieces of art, but more to being sort of interactive or having other utility to them. And I think that that's going to drive the market and continue to drive NFT sales in the future, is going to be that kind of innovation that comes around the actual production of NFTs. The NFT space is effectively, like I said, community driven. And what you'll find is that collectors and artists, they all know each other. Not maybe super well, it's not like they're all best friends, it's not like the actual art world where all of the collectors and all the artists all meet up and know each other on a very personal level. but we do all run in the same circles. And you'll find that a lot of collectors will be talking to artists on Twitter, in Telegram, and there's that idea of community being built. And that's where the value in the art comes from. What you'll find is that artists that immerse themselves in the space, that actually become part of the communities that they're trying to sell their art to, do tend to sell better. And that's because they end up making an impact on the community before their art is even up for sale. And that's when they see those sales coming in, because collectors, at the end of the day, are people in that community as well. A lot of the collectors as well, you have to remember, are of course Ethereum whales. They are people who bought Ethereum or even mined it when it was cheap and affordable to do so, and have now got lots of extra capital and are looking for the next speculative thing to invest in. And of course, NFT collectibles and NFT arts definitely could be those items. Although, as we saw with this current market cycle, yes, they could be overinflated by hype. But for a lot of the investors, that isn't really a big issue as such, because they have had the extra capital to spend in the first place. At the highest point of hype this year, the NFT market was actually making $130 million and actually rose as high as $176 million before plummeting right back down to the $30 million level. And in fact, the actual market is currently struggling to really gain any ground above $31 million of sales. That's still an impressive amount of money being spent on NFT collectibles and NFT art. Yes, the market has definitely slowed down, but the sales are still there. The interesting thing I wanted to point out here, and this is why I don't believe that we've seen NFT mania really hit its peak, is actually to do with the number of actual NFT wallets out there, people holding NFTs. So actually, in the peak of this last sort of bull cycle for NFTs, was just over actually 21,000 wallets. Right now, there are actually about 16,000 active wallets. Yes, a drop, but not that much considering that we are apparently in a bubble burst situation for NFTs. The other interesting thing that actually needs to be pointed out is the actual number of sales per week. At the peak of the NFT market, we were looking at around 41,000 sales per week. Right now, we're looking at around 36, I believe. So the sales are still happening, just there's not as much money being moved around. And then you contrast that with 2017 when we had the Crypto Kitties hype. There was over 300,000 sales in one single week. You can see that if we're in a bubble, this is a micro bubble compared to what we saw in 2017, which means that we are nowhere near the end for NFTs. And I think that there's still huge amounts of money to be made if you're willing to put in the time and actually work and become part of the community as well. You can't just go in there and sell stuff and expect to do well. Now, yes, the big celebrities have managed to do it, but even they have actually fell short. A lot of them have fell short of what they expected to make because they weren't really part of the community. And a lot of people who were real collectors, like the real proper collectors in the NFT space, they weren't actually as interested in those celebrity artists because they knew that they weren't genuine and that they don't care about the space. Now, of course, it could be argued that Paris Hilton does care about the space. I've never seen her chatting on a group forum or anything like that, but she has actually talked about NFTs before in the past. She has talked about crypto. I have heard that she is actually active in the space in buying and selling, but I've not seen the evidence of that myself. Let's face it though, a lot of the other people out there that have been doing it, they don't care about the space. They just want to try and make money in a new way. And that's fine, but they're not, that's not going to work for regular artists. You need to get immersed in the space. And for people who just want to invest in the space and they're looking for what can make the best returns right now, well, right now there is a lot of art that's on discount, basically. So you could look at those, but also don't discount the actual tokens that are used as utility tokens on the various platforms out there. And I wanted to bring that up because I want to talk about Unifty, which is a platform that has really caught my attention over the last couple of weeks. And I've really been doing a lot of digging on it. Unifty is a multi-chain NFT platform for artists. It is effectively a toolset, a framework for you to build on. Now, one of the biggest problems for NFT artists is the actual process of putting your NFT art onto different marketplaces, how you go to create that NFT art, creating your collections, how do you sell it, where do you market it, what can you offer apart from the actual art itself. You have to worry about the fees, which chain you're building on. There are a lot of things you have to consider when you're actually creating your NFTs, especially if you're trying to do this seriously. And certainly if you don't have any experience creating contracts or any experience developing blockchains, some of this stuff could be really out of your reach. This means that only the biggest artists with the big backers are able to actually take full advantage of what NFTs can offer, and it leaves smaller artists trying to scrape by on some of the smaller marketplaces out there. Unifty actually makes all of this stuff accessible. It does that through a number of things in the framework there. The first is the actual collection management tools. So you can create your collections and your NFTs. One of the big things here is that you, at the end of it, own the smart contracts that you create. So one of the big challenges with platforms like Rarible is that you don't actually own the smart contract that you use to create the NFT. Rarible own that contract, which means that in effect, Rarible control those NFTs even after you've sold them on. With Unifty, you own the contracts, you control the contracts, and they're your responsibility afterwards. Which is why Unifty also offer the ability to develop and create wallets as well. The other side to Unifty that's really great is the ecosystem. You're able to create your own farms, so you can actually have people stake different coins and different tokens, and you can choose almost any coin, and I'll explain why in a moment, to have farmed, and in return your farm will release some NFTs you've created as a reward, for example. The other side of the ecosystem is the NFT marketplace. Now there is an official one, but there are also now tools which came out I think a week ago or so, which allow you to create your own NFT marketplace. You can brand it however you want, you can host it yourself, you can allow people to actually upload their own NFTs and sell their own NFTs on your marketplace. You can create your own version of Rarible, all using Unifty as the back end. Now Unifty also supports a very wide variety of chains, which also makes it very, very interesting and compelling to NFT artists. You're not stuck with doing everything on Ethereum. You can, of course, do it on Ethereum with Unifty, but if you're worried about gas fees, if you're maybe selling cheaper NFT collectibles and you don't want to price people out of the market because of gas fees, you can actually choose from a wide variety of different chains to deploy on. So Unifty effectively supports Ethereum, XDAI, Polygon Matic, Avalanche, Cello, and Binance Smart Chain. And very soon, they're also going to be adding Moonbeam as another option there as well. There's even an NFT bridge functionality built into this framework as well. Now, of course, building these things does not come free. There is actually either a developer fee that you have to pay, which is a certain amount of Ethereum, or holding various amounts of NIF tokens and staking them on your project will actually allow you to create a farm or a marketplace or a collection, and they remain as long as you hold those NIF tokens and have them staked against the project. This is quite impressive because it means that NIF will actually become deflationary the more that Unifty is actually used. If, however, you think you're going to be making loads and loads of art, loads of farms, loads of marketplaces, and you want to be able to do it without spending out huge amounts of money every time, there are actually a number of wildcards out there. These are NFTs that you can buy from Unifty, which actually give you a free pass to create as many of these different framework items as you want. So there are different actual wildcards. There are ones for farms, there's ones for collections, but there's also one as well, which I think is probably the best value for money, which is the free pass wildcard. That one there lets you do everything on the platform for free as long as you hold that NFT. Currently, that NFT is selling around sort of $700 to $800 on the cheaper end. That's mainly because the market has come down. Now, I can tell you that when they were being sold a few months ago, they were going for a couple of $1,000s each, and there was somebody trying to sell one for 25k during the hype. So there's certainly a big discount on those wildcards right now, and if you're really serious about building, then you probably would want to get one of those instead of just holding NIF tokens or paying the developer fees. Now, as for the NIF token, there are currently only just over 1 million NIF tokens in circulation, with only 5 million in total supply. With a current market cap of just $24 million and every farm or marketplace needing some of the NIF tokens to be staked against them, I can actually really see the price of NIF going up quite exponentially, really. Right now, NIF token is available for about $24 each. But having looked at it, looking at the market cap, comparing it to some of the other projects out there, but also considering the actual sort of scope and scale that this project could go to, I'm actually ready to give you my insane price prediction on NIF. Of course, this does rely on the NFT market picking up pace again, and as I showed you at the beginning, I think that there is a good chance of that. We aren't really in a crash as such, because we're nowhere near the highs of sales and wallets that we had during 2017 for NFTs, and mainstream adoption really hasn't actually come to NFTs yet, proven by the number of active wallets. So if I'm right and NFT marketplaces start to pick up again, NFT collectibles and art start selling well again soon, I actually believe that NIF token could go up to $100 per NIF token. And that is probably a conservative estimate, to be honest with you, because we really don't know how big this NFT market could get. We know it's going to grow. There's a lot of interest in it. There's still a lot of really cool technical stuff that can be developed for it, and the community is very strong there. Honestly, I think that platforms like NIF are going to be where you can make some massive returns, especially with ones where the market cap is so low, like it is right now with Unifty. I do believe that this one has the potential to see 500% gains, $100 per token within this year. But of course, let's hope that that market rebounds. That's what we need. We need our collectors, and we need our whales, our Ethereum whales, to start wanting to be more speculative with their investments again and buying up decent and well-crafted art made by you guys out there. So I hope you lot enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a massive favor, like and subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell. I will be putting out more videos, and I probably will cover more on NFTs because I do really love NFTs and more NFT projects. So please hit me up in the comments and let me know what projects you'd like me to look at next. I am thinking I might have to start doing some art reviews of some of the coolest NFT artists out there. Maybe shout out your favorite NFT artists in the comments below, and I will start to put together videos about them as well. I hope you all enjoyed it. Have a great night, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!